you want me to take the kids?
Kids.
That episode to me is about the children. It's about who is going to take care of the children.
None of you want any of us to have a good time just because you never did.
No. We're worried about you.
Youth is a big part of our lives in general, now and then. But when you think of the 60s and the youth culture and the way it sort of takes over,
Betty has cancer.
what you're looking at is Don's fear of the children being cut loose.
I just imagine them growing up without a mother.
And at the same time, the children come back and eat you also.
Forget everything I said before.
Excuse me?
That's the last guy I hired. Hey!
What about now?
Betty has changed physically.
I'll get it, just go.
I don't think there's any mystery to how that could happen.
Don's girlfriend. Well, they're married. She's 20 years old.
She is happy with Henry, but on some level, it's not enough.
Darling, I just don't think I can go tonight.
I think the stability of her life has been disappointing. And then you get in this cycle where you've lost your self-esteem, and the only way to make yourself feel better is to eat. It's a vicious cycle, having a weight problem. And this is a woman whose vanity is a big part of her life.
Bertie,
Say what you always say.
everything's gonna be okay.
But what's interesting to me about it is that in this crisis, we see that she and Don do have this special relationship still, and Don feels very guilty about it.
Don and Betty clearly have a significant history together, and children, and a life that is impossible to ignore, even though the marriage has ended. So I think when you get news like that, it's difficult, and you start thinking about things.
Megan, you were 26 years old.
So I don't understand death?
And what's going to happen with these children if they don't have a mother, and how's it going to work? And I thought January was really wonderful in it, handling that incredible range of emotions of dealing with the news that you might possibly be dying.
What if they were to sing, you know, Heinz, Heinz, Heinz is on my side, or something like that, I don't know.
I like this idea of trying to co-opt youth, which is what the Heinz people are interested in doing, and is a big part of advertising, is a big part of our culture.
You let us know when they get here? Sarah, I promise you'll know.
The Rolling Stones concert, it's one of those kind of moments where you realize, and I think Don realizes and Harry realizes, that youth culture isn't going anywhere fast. In fact, it's only gaining in importance. This was my first episode that I directed. Fortunately, the way had been paved by Mr. Slattery, so I had seen how it's done. We looked at a lot of archival photographs from the actual concert, and they were kids. The Rolling Stones, it was them and the Beatles that were these huge pop explosions. People were really excited about it, and it was a really big deal. And in a larger context, gave us a sense of where advertising is going and the impact and importance of the youth and what they want, what they like.
I'm going to bring him in.
Stick to mediocre. You'll sleep better.
Discovering Ginsberg is interesting because she is obviously attracted to his work first and sees his portfolio and sees that there's really interesting things going on. As competitive and ambitious as she is, she understands that working with somebody talented is only going to make her look better. And it's only going to make her job easier.
Hello, I'm Peggy Olson.
Michael Ginsberg. Lead the way.
No, we're meeting here. And this kid walks in who's just insane and really throws her for a loop. And at first she's annoyed by him, and then she really just is confused. She wants him to be around because she has a feeling about him, but he's also just not like anyone she's really ever met.
You can't act like this with Don.
Like what?
You see somebody who is also the next wave, and he's just a youthful, sort of impulsive person who seems unfamiliar with social rules.
I'm just pleased that after a long effort, I was able to sign them.
There's Roger dealing with Pete, who he supported in every way, who is his boy, who definitely is his successor.
You know, I used to love that kid. I would hold his hand and help him up on the swing set.
He grew up. What'd you expect?
I'm tired of it, Don.
And there is Pete sort of rubbing it in Roger's face that he's an old lion and he has to be relegated to, you know, the back of the pack.
I'm exhausted from hanging onto the ledge and having some kid's foot on my fingertips.
And then Don thinking about his own childhood. And there's no reason that the concerns of older people are different than younger people. That in itself is being discussed in the episode.
Henry Francis.
Hi, Henry, it's Don.
Hello, Don.
I wanted to know if there was any news about Betty.
AMC's Mad Men, new episodes, Sunday nights at 10. For more exclusive video, go to amctv.com.